This is the Medicine Hat and District Chamber of Commerce with your daily COVID-19 update for April 24th. Prime Minister Justin Trudeau announced that the federal government has reached an agreement in principle with all provinces and territories to implement the Canada Emergency Commercial Rent Assistance Program for small businesses. The province of Alberta has announced that it's on board with a $67 million commitment. The program will provide forgivable loans to qualifying commercial property owners to cover 50% of 3 monthly rent payments that are payable by eligible small business tenants who are experiencing financial hardship during April, May, and June. The loans will be forgiven if the mortgage property owner agrees to reduce the eligible small business tenant's rent by at least 75% for the 3 corresponding months under a rent forgiveness agreement. The agreement must include a term not to evict the tenant while the agreement is in place. The small business tenant would cover the remainder, up to 25% of the rent. Impacted small business tenants that qualify are businesses paying less than $50,000 per month in rent and who have temporarily ceased operations or have experienced at least a 70% drop in pre-COVID-19 revenues. This support will also be available to nonprofit and charitable organizations. The program is anticipated to be running by mid-May and will be administered by the Canada Mortgage and Housing Corporation. Further details on the program will be shared in the near future once final terms and conditions are available. The Site Rehabilitation program will be opening on May 1st and will provide grants to oil field service contractors to perform well, pipeline, and oil and gas site reclamation work. The program will have an initial focus on providing grants to service companies that have been significantly impacted by the unprecedented economic downturn. You can find information on eligibility requirements, activities that will be supported under the program, and eligible costs that will be covered by the program in our daily update. In response to COVID-19, core audits have been simplified and limited to documentation only. There will be no interviews or observation, and the minimum requirement for this simplified audit is 3 months of documentation. The process will be in place from March 17th to December 31st, 2020, and you can find additional details in our daily update. There will be a stay-at-home gala brought to you by Community Champion sponsors Pritchard & Company Law Firm, LLP. It's going to be a one-of-a-kind stay-at-home gala hosted online across Southeast Alberta on May 2nd, starting at 5:30. The virtual gala will join hundreds of Canadians across the country through the Community Foundations of Canada, and it aims to strengthen community efforts. This is social distancing at its finest. The first of its kind event will host all the familiar elements of a gala. Dinner arranged by you, or for certain sponsors, they'll get door-to-door delivery. Game-changing speakers, entertainers, musicians, and much more. So don your best, log on, and dine to support the members of our communities across Southeast Alberta who've been impacted by the pandemic. emceeing the gala will be award-winning entertainer, entrepreneur, and coach Trevor Moore, with special guest Mackenzie Porter. All proceeds will stay local. Your donation will be tax receipted by the Community Foundations of Canada, which will then direct all funds back to the Community Foundation of Southeast Alberta into the most in need charities across our region. So you can get your tickets through the link in our daily update, and make sure you're watching social media and share the information so that we can get the most support possible to this event. There's a volunteer tracing app that's coming soon. In order to help enhance and complement contract tracing, the Government of Alberta has developed a mobile contract tracing application, AB Trace Together. The app is in the final testing phase and is expected to be available to all Albertans in the coming weeks. The app, which will be available to all Albertans for voluntary download, will help Albertans protect themselves, their loved ones, and their community while maintaining their privacy. Of course, it's a Friday before a weekend, and so that's a good reminder about getting outdoors. Albertans can help prevent the spread of COVID-19 by following all public health orders when outdoors. There's more details, including examples of activities that can be done while maintaining physical distancing, online at alberta.ca under the coronavirus info for Albertans. So make sure you check that resource out before you go outside. There's some additional information in our daily update, and there's of course always some advocacy that we have going on through local, provincial, and our national chamber network, as well as our international chamber. The Canadian Chamber did issue a statement today regarding the need for national production of personal protective equipment ahead of reopening the economy. So you can check out that statement in our daily update. And the International Chamber of Commerce released a call to action on COVID-19 and competition, developed by the International Chamber Commission on Competition, and in line with the organization's commitment to help chart an effective international response to the COVID-19 pandemic. The information is aimed at governments and competition agencies alike, and the ICC paper benefited from the input from antitrust experts from the private sector, as well as private practitioners. The objective is twofold: to minimize the negative economic crisis on economies, markets, and consumers in the short to medium term, and more fundamentally, to protect the structure of economies and the competitive fabric of markets in the longer term to confront the economic challenges that lie ahead. So you can find that information in our daily update. There's also some new resources that we've included, and Aid Local is a new platform that we found out about for businesses across Canada to connect directly with local consumers and customers and let them know what you are offering during this time. The free service is easy to use, and you can search by location or by an address. And you can also see a list of nearby companies along with what they have available. So this is an app or a website that's just getting started, and it's a great reminder to remember to post on our local directories as well. These directories have been created to make sure you get business exposure. So there's the things that are open from JPBG, the Operations Support Local from CJCY and Rock 105.3, and Bounce Back Medicine Hat from Minuteman Press. And of course, we encourage you to send us your information so that we can post it to our Chamber of Commerce Support Local page. There's also some additional occupational health and safety resources. So there's one from the Alberta Cannabis Association, the Alberta Council of Women's Shelters, the Alberta Occupational Health Nurses Association, the Canadian Centre for Occupational Health and Safety, Food and Consumer Products of Canada, and Transport Canada. So you can check the OHS safety resources through our daily update and on our COVID-19 information page. As always, there's lots of webinars that you can participate in. And there was one that was held by APEX, the Regional Innovation Network of Southeast Alberta, about keeping your company and employees secure when working remotely. So that was a local presenter, Ivan Long, and there was a recorded session so that if you did miss it, you can check out the daily update and our COVID-19 information page to check out that resource. I attended personally and it was fantastic. And I really do highly encourage people to make sure that they're staying safe as they work remotely and make sure that you protect your systems and your data. There's also one from Travel Alberta coming up on creating virtual experiences. So that one will take place on Thursday, April 30th. And there's one hosted by the Canadian Chamber of Commerce on mental health and your workforce that is taking place on April 29th. So you can check those out along with all the number of different webinars that are coming up in the next couple of weeks in our daily update and on our pandemic training calendar. So we encourage you to connect with us online, check out the website, connect with us on social media. You can use the hashtag YXHTogether. Don't forget to recognize your local heroes by using the hashtag YXHHeroes on social media. And if you'd like to provide us a picture for our daily updates, we'd love to have you send that to communications@medicinehatchamber.com so that we can showcase Southeast Alberta through our daily updates. Take care, have a great weekend, and we'll talk to you again next week.